Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Yolanda Melody. Today's going to be a fun story about manifestation. I personally think it's really funny. This story is about how I used manifestation and the power of my mind to convince a load of people to tell me that I looked like Kate Middleton. Wow, that's a long intro. I'm not gonna lie guys, I haven't figured out how I'm gonna title this video, but that is the story, okay? This happened over the course of literally 2 days. It was very quick, it was very random, and there's a lot that you can take from this story because it taught me a lot about how manifestation is really supposed to be playful. Before I get into this story, I really need to stress that I have no aspirations whatsoever to look like Kate Middleton. I'm not saying that she's ugly, far from it. I also don't believe myself that I look like her. My mom seems to believe that I do. I think maybe if you turned my head a certain angle and hers, you could see a little resemblance, but not anything to kind of hang on to. The reason why I'm saying it is first because I don't want people to think that I'm some kind of massive Kate Middleton fan. I don't really pay attention to the royals, but also when it comes to manifestation, it's a hell of a lot easier to manifest things that you're not too emotionally involved in. A lot of people say this when you're practicing manifestation. What you first want to do is practice with things that are so random just to prove to yourself that manifestation works, and then eventually you can build yourself up, get really good at controlling your mind, and then you can manifest bigger things. But ultimately, the more detached you are from the outcome, the more that you're able to let go, the more likely the manifestation is to come back to you in a timely manner. Okay, so the story. It all started one day when I was at my old workplace, which was in a stately home. I had to conduct myself in a certain manner at this place. We would often be serving people who had a lot of money and were classed as upper class. I had to wear a suit, which I styled very nicely, by the way, just saying. And instead of having my Midlands twang in my accent, I really had to try and speak proper Queen's English. So this one day we had these Americans come in, and I absolutely loved when we had the Americans. Anyone who's been following my videos, they know I love America. I feel like I should have been born there. And I was always really excited to have the Americans come into the house. By the way, when I say the house, I'm talking about the stately home. So it all started with something so random. The Americans were walking in, I was taking their luggage and their coats, and one of them just turned to me out of the blue and just said, "Oh my God." She goes, "You look just like Kate. You know, the royal? You know, the one that's married to Harry?" Is she married to Harry? Harry and Kate. No, Harry is with Meghan, isn't he? Oh God. William. William and Kate. Got ya. Right. Anyway, anyone who's watching this right now is probably going to think, she's so stupid. Little do you know. So this woman, she was convinced that I looked just like Kate Middleton, and that's what kind of inspired me using that energy and that experience to create more of it. Just to clarify as well, this was the first time that anyone had ever said to me that I looked like Kate Middleton. Even my mom only started saying it after this situation happened. So obviously the vibes were all good with the Americans. I was really happy for once, because you all know I hated that job so much, but that day was a good day. Very rare. So after that, I put all of my mental focus throughout that day into manifesting more people saying it. I gave myself a challenge in my head and said, I want 3 more people to say this to me by the end of the week. Because I knew my job so well, I was able to just do that on autopilot, and all I was doing was keeping my vibe high, culminating this positive energy around me and this confidence, and I just repeated over and over in my head that people were gonna come up to me. I was almost looking at new customers and thinking, go on, say it. If it comes out that this is some kind of witchcraft, I mean, I'm sorry. I literally had convinced myself that day that I'd become like a conductor and I was just creating situations to happen, and it was so weird. So fast forward to later on in the day, we had 3 different sections at my old workplace. We had a cafe, a restaurant. I was predominantly in the house, but I could work in all 3 areas. So I was called over to work in the restaurant. I was working behind the bar, and within about 2 hours, it happened. Another customer went out of their way to come up to me and say, "Oh my God, you look like Kate Middleton." And I was just like, you know that thing in your head where it goes do 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 do. So obviously, because it happened a second time, that reinforces the belief that it's gonna happen again. And the more that you believe in it, the more that it starts to just keep happening. This is how things spiral. So by the end of the shift, the total for that day was 2 people. And then the next day when I went into work, another person said it. And it was a few years ago that this happened, so I can't recall whether something negative had kind of pushed me out of the loop. Most likely something negative happened because this was at my old workplace that I hated and there was drama all the time. But the weird thing is, it never happened again. This phenomenon, if you will, happened for 2 days of my entire life, and no one had ever said it before, and no one has ever said it since. So I put that down to manifestation. You can put it down to coincidence if you want. I wouldn't. Personally, I think it was very, very weird. But you know what? I want to leave you guys to decide. What do you think of this situation? Was this manifestation? Was it witchcraft? Was it mind control? Was it some Darren Brown shit? Maybe I was just telepathically sending messages to people's minds, but that makes me sound like a little bit deceptive. I'm really not. It was just an experiment. Anyway, comment down below your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to drop me a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Love you, bye.